We have a few minutes left, so I'll have some quick round of questions to you.
Sure.
If you have to recommend one recommendation to maybe the city level or a state level or a central level, what would that be in terms of regulation?
So in terms of regulation, first of all, don't regulate cloud computing. I believe TRAI is looking to regulate cloud. My suggestion is government should stay out. Industry will find its way. Do not regulate, right? That's my overall thing. But other than that, I think we need some power reforms. I think the way there are all kinds of conditions, even when you want to do, like, for example, we are foraying into renewable energy because we recognize we are utilizing a lot of power and we want to be good to the environment. So while government has given incentives to do renewable energy, it's, there are a lot of things that can be improved further. So I think in the power area, I'd like to introduce, and in general, govern less. So don't govern.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about government as a user?
Government as a user,
if they pay on time. If they pay on time.
Yeah. So we've not been very bullish for the way things were in the past, but I've seen a huge improvement in the recent past. Whether it's Maharashtra state government or whether it's the Ministry of Information Technology, they've come up with, they've audited and certified 5 or 6 of us who are cloud providers. And then they've established rate contracts, and then any department can order on anybody. And so it's a very straightforward process. There's also the smart city projects that are happening. Those are a little slow. I think they should improve their speed. But overall on the government business, I think I think the main thing is payments on time. I think now the government is doing that, so I think that's okay. Yeah.
No, but if you look at, say, Indian citizens, after testing the benefit of digitalization, now they would like to see all citizen services digitalized.
And quite a few of them are
in terms of government to automate all their operations. Yeah.
Yeah. So whether it's Aadhaar or whether it's a lot of the other services, government has a whole bunch of portals where they're doing that, right? And I think some of those are being run by NIC and not by private players like us. But yes, if there is an opportunity, we'll definitely look at it, as long as it is done on merit and as long as it is done where payments are made on time. The other thing, another recommendation I just remembered is to have a level playing field. Whenever I want to go to the government, I want to tell them that whatever you do, have a level playing field. It shouldn't be that if you invest so much, you get more benefits. The guy who can invest more doesn't need the benefit you're giving. So give it a level playing field to everyone. That's one thing that I've seen where they're all some of the larger players they kind of manipulate things in a way that they get all the benefits. I believe that across all industries they should make it a level playing field.
If you were to give one message to young engineer today in terms of his or her career path, what would that be?
So engineers have a great future ahead because you see the way technology is changing. But I think the one message would be to constantly upskill themselves. Because you can get obsolete so fast. So you don't be complacent, constantly learn, constantly upskill because the rate at which technology is changing. But if you have the right skills, right, whether you're a data scientist or whether you're a expert in AI ML or whether you're a cybersecurity expert, there's a huge demand, there's a huge shortage of that, and there's a very, very bright future. But obviously, constantly upskill yourselves.
And one last question is, if India has no option but to become an innovative nation, now if you look at Jio, $20 billion, the only way you can compete with such a huge investment is by being innovative. Correct. And plus other areas where innovation is going to drive tomorrow's India. What would be your recommendation for India to become an innovative nation?
So I think, as long as it's, as I said, it's merit-based, right? We follow a merit-based approach, whether it's government contracts or not, or whether it's, we have a level playing field, we are merit-based. We fund companies on merit. We come up with legislation, whether it's whether it's for data centers, whether it's for telecom, whether it's for anything else which is on merit. I think that is one fundamental thing that we need. Other area is, I think we need to invest a lot in our education system. I think it needs an overhaul across the country. It needs to be overhauled across the country. And I think a lot of private companies are also looking at it. I think Jio is also setting up a university talking about Jio, but we need a lot more education so that we can, so that people have the core skills that they need to be able to do the innovation, because we don't have a shortage of entrepreneurs. We don't have a shortage of talent. I know Indian Jugaad is supposed to be very famous, but obviously with high tech, right? even great ideas, to scale them, you need the help of technology. So I think that is something, the education is something that we really need to ramp up.
Thank you, sir. I think time is over. Thank you, everyone in the audience who participated here. So I think over to you, Naveen, now.
Thanks a lot. This was a really, really insightful session, Sharad, and we have got a lot of questions which I think we will write to you.
Yeah.
And if you can have them answered, nothing like it.
Yeah, I'll be happy to answer. Yeah, just send them to me. I'm sorry I could not address all. I also wanted to give some key lessons. Can I just take one more minute to give the some key lessons?
Yeah.
Because I didn't get a chance to go through that. So one is, surround yourself with people smarter than you. So all my direct reports add value to me. They're not yes men. Delegate. So when your company grows big, you don't try to do everything on your own. I think customer centricity and customer excellence is very key. You have to be, really fanatic about customer. In our case, as you said, we have to be fanatic about the uptime of our customers. Never compromise core values or ethics. Always look at a long-term thing rather than a short-term gain. So very often, you can get business very quickly, but if customer is doing badly, you can shut him down. But if you give him a little bit of time and you kind of structure something with him, you can probably develop into a relationship. I remember IIFL, India Infoline, right in the beginning when they started in 2000, because of .com bust, they were in trouble. But we worked, Nirmal and I, he came to me, met me, we worked out something, and today he's one of our largest customers, and he's a multi-billion-dollar company, right? IIFL is one of the biggest success stories in India. So look at long-term. When you take risks always, obviously, but you should know what the downside and the upside is, right? You should not be betting your house each time you take a risk. Then obviously there's no substitute for hard work. Self-belief, more passion is key. You can't lose that. I think if you lose that, then your chances of success obviously come down. And obviously constantly, not only for your team but also yourself, you have to constantly upskill. The rate especially in a high-tech industry, the rate at which technology is changing, if I don't constantly read, I will become a dinosaur, right? So constantly have to do that. And yeah, so those are some of the key learnings that I've had over the period of time, and I hope this is useful to the other entrepreneurs as well.
We'll get you again.
Yeah, sure, my pleasure. Thank you so much, Harish Bhai, and thank you, Ty, for having me.